Problems related to parallelogram. Practice set 5.1. Question 1. Diagonals of a parallelogram WXYZ intersect each other at point O. If measure of angle XYZ is equal to 135 degrees, then what is the measure of angle XWZ and angle YZW? If length of OY is equal to 5 centimeters, then length of WY is equal to what? You have to write what is given, what is to be found out. So, given diagonals of a parallelogram WXYZ intersect each other at point O. Measure of angle XYZ is equal to 135 degrees. Length of OY is equal to 5 centimeters. To find measure of angle XWZ, measure of angle YZW, and length of WY. Now coming to the solution. Draw the figure. Figure is not given, so you have to draw the figure. Look at the figure. You know, in a parallelogram, opposite angles are congruent. So we have angle XYZ is equal to angle XWZ is equal to 135 degrees. Also, WX is parallel to ZY. Now, see the interior angles, angle YZW and angle XWZ. When ZY is when ZW is the transversal. Interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary, so we get measure of angle YZW plus measure of angle XWZ is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, instead of therefore, you can write implies. This symbol is implies. You can also write therefore. Therefore, measure of angle YZW plus 135 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, measure of angle YZW is equal to, take plus 135 degrees to the other side of the equal to sign, you will get minus 135 degrees. So 180 degrees minus 135 degrees will give you 45 degrees. So we have found out measure of angle YZW to be equal to 45 degrees. Now length of OY is given to be 5 centimeters. We know that diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So, length of WY, that is length of diagonal WY, is equal to 2 into length of OY. That is equal to 2 into 5, which is equal to 10 centimeters. Now pick out everything and write the answer. Question number 2. In a parallelogram ABCD, if measure of angle A is equal to 3x plus 2 degrees, measure of angle B is equal to 2x minus 32 degrees, then find the value of x and then find the measures of angle C and angle D. Here also figure is not given, you have to draw the figure. So draw parallelogram ABCD, mark everything, and you have to write given brackets, 3x plus 2x is 5x, plus 12 minus 32 will be minus 20. If two numbers are having different signs, find out the difference between the numbers and put the sign of the greater number. This is the rule of addition of integers. So 5x minus 20 is equal to 180 degrees. Take minus 20 to the other side. So you will get 5x is equal to 180 degrees plus 20 degrees. Therefore 5x is equal to 200. You have to find out the value of x now. 5 multiplied by x is equal to 200. Therefore x is equal to 200 upon 5, that is equal to 40. So x is equal to 40. Now substitute this value in the measure of angle A is equal to 3x plus 2 degrees. So it becomes measure of angle A is equal to 3 into 40 degrees plus 12. That is equal to 120 degrees plus 12. That is equal to 132 degrees. Measure of angle B is equal to 2x minus 32. That is equal to 2 into 40 degrees minus 32 degrees. That is equal to 80 degrees minus 32 degrees. That is equal to 48 degrees. You know that opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. Therefore, measure of angle A is equal to measure of angle C, which is equal to 132 degrees. And measure of angle B is equal to measure of angle D, which is equal to 48 degrees. Now pick out all the answers and write. Value of x is asked, then measures of angle C and angle D are asked. So pick out everything and write once again. Question number 3. Perimeter of a parallelogram is 150 centimeters. One of its sides is greater than the other side by 25 centimeters. Find the lengths of all sides. You are given perimeter of a parallelogram is 150 centimeters. One of its sides is greater than the other side by 25 centimeters. To find the lengths of all sides. Solution. Perimeter is equal to 150 centimeters. Within brackets you write given. Let one of the sides be x. Therefore the other side will be x plus 25 because one of its sides is greater than the other side by 25 centimeters. We have taken one of the sides to be x. So other side will be x plus 25. And perimeter will be sum of all sides. So now 4 sides are there for the parallelogram. And opposite sides of the parallelogram are congruent. So x plus x plus x plus 25 plus x plus 25 is equal to 150 degrees. Here within brackets you write opposite sides of the parallelogram are congruent. Now x plus x plus x plus x will be 4x. 25 plus 25 is 50. 4x plus 50 is equal to 150. Keep 4x on the left hand side. Take plus 50 to the right hand side. So 150 minus 50. That will be 100. So we get 4x is equal to 100. You have to find out the value of x. 4 multiplied by x is equal to 100. Therefore x is equal to 100 upon 4, which is otherwise 25. So we get the value of x as 25. We have to find the lengths of all sides. So now put this value of x. Let one of the sides be x. We have taken. Put this value of x there. So it will be 25. And the side opposite to that side also will be 25. Then other side is x plus 25. Instead of x you put the value 25. 25 plus 25 is 50 centimeters. And the side opposite to it also will be 50 centimeters. So answer will be the sides are 25 centimeters, 25 centimeters, 50 centimeters and 50 centimeters. Otherwise you can write 25 centimeters, 50 centimeters, 25 centimeters and 50 respectively. Question number 4. If the ratio of measures of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram is 1:2, find the measures of all angles of the parallelogram. You are given the ratio of measures of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram to be 1:2. You have to find the measures of all angles of the parallelogram. Now, coming to the solution. Let the two adjacent angles of the parallelogram be x and 2x. Because we have taken x to be the common multiple, you will have to write that. First you will write the ratio of measures of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram is 1:2. Let us take x to be the common multiple. Therefore, the two adjacent angles will be x and 2x respectively. Now, interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So, x plus 2x is equal to 180 degrees. X plus 2x is otherwise 3x. 3x is equal to 180 degrees. You have to find out the value of x. Take 3 to the other side of the equal to sign. 3 multiplied by x. So, when you take 3 to the other side, it becomes divided by 3. You will get x is equal to 180 divided by 3. Therefore, x is equal to 60 degrees. Thus, the adjacent angles are 60 degrees and 120 degrees because we have taken the two adjacent angles to be x and 2x. Because the ratios of the adjacent angles are 1:2. So, we got the two adjacent angles measures to be x and 2x. So, now put the value of x there. So, the adjacent angles are of measure 60 degrees and 120 degrees. You know the opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. So, the angles of the parallelogram will be 60 degrees, 120 degrees, 60 degrees and 120 degrees. There are 4 angles, so we will get 4 measures. So, answer, the measures of all angles of the parallelogram will be 60 degrees, 120 degrees, 60 degrees and 120 degrees respectively. Now coming to question number 5. Diagonals of a parallelogram intersect each other at point O. If AO is equal to 5, BO is equal to 12 and AB is equal to 13, then show that quadrilateral ABCD is a rhombus. You are given diagonals of a parallelogram intersect each other at point O. AO is equal to 5, BO is equal to 12 and AB is equal to 13. You have to show that, that means you have to prove that quadrilateral ABCD is a rhombus. Now coming to the solution. Draw the parallelogram ABCD. You have to prove that the parallelogram ABCD is a rhombus. So draw the parallelogram ABCD. Mark everything, whatever is given. AO is equal to 5, BO is equal to 12 and AB is equal to 13. Everything has to be marked on the figure. Now take triangle AOB. AO is equal to 5 cm, OB is equal to 12 cm and AB is equal to 13 cm. If centimeters are not given, don't write the centimeters everywhere. Don't write because it is not given. Units is only given. Now look at these numbers 5, 12 and 13. They form a Pythagorean triplet because 13 square is 169 and sum of the squares of the other two numbers will be what? 5 square plus 12 square, which is otherwise equal to 25 plus 144, that is also equal to 169. out of 5, 12 and 13, 13 is the biggest number, largest number. So you have to find the square of the largest number. So 13 square is 169, keep in mind. Now 5 square plus 12 square will be 25 plus 144, that is also equal to 169. So we are getting 13 square is equal to 5 square plus 12 square. Therefore it forms these numbers 5, 12 and 13 form a Pythagorean triplet. Thus triangle AOB is a right angled triangle. Right angled triangle. Right angled at O. Is a right angled triangle, right angled at O. Now, ABCD is a parallelogram, so diagonals bisect each other. I have taught you the property of parallelograms, so at that time I have taught you diagonals bisect each other. ABCD is a parallelogram, so diagonals bisect each other. Therefore, otherwise it implies AO is equal to OC is equal to 5 centimeters. Also OB is equal to OD is equal to 12 centimeters. Thus, in parallelogram ABCD, diagonals bisect at right angles. We have proved triangle AOB is a right angle triangle, right angled at O. Now we have proved that because ABCD is a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other. Therefore, AO is equal to OC is equal to 5 centimeters. Also, OB is equal to OD is equal to 12 centimeters. So, bisecting also we get and at right angles. So, combine both you will get. Thus, in parallelogram ABCD, diagonals bisect at right angles. In a parallelogram the diagonals bisect at right angles, then the parallelogram becomes a rhombus. Hence, parallelogram ABCD is a rhombus. The notation of the quadrilateral ABCD is missing here. Please mention that. Hence, parallelogram ABCD is a rhombus. Now coming to question number 6. In the given figure, quadrilateral PQRS and quadrilateral ABCR are two parallelograms. If measure of angle P is equal to 110 degrees, then find the measures of all angles of parallelogram ABCR. Look at the figure. Here the figure is given. Quadrilateral PQRS is a parallelogram. Also quadrilateral ABCR is a parallelogram is given. In PQRS, measure of angle P is equal to 110 is also given. We know that opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. So we can write measure of angle P is equal to measure of angle R is equal to 110 degrees. Because angle P and angle R are opposite angles of the parallelogram PQRS. Look at the figure. So we can write measure of angle P is equal to measure of angle R is equal to 110 degrees. Similarly, you are having quadrilateral ABCR to be another parallelogram. It is given to be a parallelogram. Now opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. So look at parallelogram ABCR in the figure. Angle R and angle B are opposite angles of the parallelogram ABCR. We know that opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. So we can write measure of angle R is equal to measure of angle B. But we know that from the previous step we know that measure of angle R is equal to 110 degrees. So we can write measure of angle R is equal to measure of angle B is equal to 110 degrees. Now we know that interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So if you take the parallelogram ABCR, if you take AB and CR to be parallel because they are opposite sides, and transversal, then you get angle R and angle A to be interior angles. And sum of the measures of the interior angles is 180 degrees. So you can write measure of angle R plus measure of angle A is equal to 180 degrees. Now, you know that measure of angle R is equal to 110 degrees. We already proved. So 110 degrees plus measure of angle A is equal to 180 degrees. That implies, otherwise you can also use therefore. Measure of angle A is equal to 180 degrees minus 110 degrees. You are bringing plus 110 degrees to the other side of the equal to sign. So it becomes minus 110 degrees. So 180 is already there on the right hand side. Now we got 180 minus 110 on the right hand side. So it becomes 70 degrees. So measure of angle A is equal to 70 degrees. You have to find measures of all angles of ABCR, the parallelogram ABCR. Measure of angle A is equal to measure of angle C. Within brackets you have to write the reason opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. It is not mentioned here. You have to mention it. Measure of angle A is equal to measure of angle C because what is the reason? Opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. So measure of angle A is equal to measure of angle C is equal to 110 degrees. Because sorry, 70 degrees. Measure of angle A is equal to measure of angle C is equal to 70 degrees. Please do the correction as 70 degrees. Because in the previous step we have got measure of angle A is equal to 70 degrees. So write measure of angle A is equal to measure of angle C is equal to 70 degrees. Similarly, measure of angle B is equal to measure of angle R is equal to 110 degrees. We are found out in between. So pick up that and write at last as answer. Answer measure of angle R is equal to measure of angle B is equal to 110 degrees and measure of angle A is equal to measure of angle C is equal to 70 degrees.